Oh yeah, it's going down. Gervonta Tank Davis, Showtime, Shawn Porter. Both are getting ready for fights. And guess what? They sparred each other too. We're going to talk about that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I don't know how you found my video, but somehow, some way you made it. Please help others arrive at the content. Help people find this. Reach one, teach one. It's free, it's simple, it's quick, it's painless. I can assure you. Throw a like on the video. Now, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. I mean, I'm really starting to outdo myself on the channel. I'm in my zone. I'm in my throne. Days ago, I told you guys this, and you can challenge Ego Stradamus if you want. Look at the timestamps, 11:08, 11:10:21. You won't really find many people predating that actual timestamp giving you this information, if anybody, because I got tipped off and found out this information before any pictures or footage that you guys seen at the beginning had leaked out. And, you know, now people have pictures and photos to prove it. But I said, I heard through the grapevine, Tank Davis is gonna spar Shawn Porter. Good on both of them. Both have big fights coming up. Let's see what happens. Excellent work for both fighters as they gear up, #Ego. Now follow me on social media outside of YouTube as well. Twitter @Boxingego, Instagram @Boxingego1. So Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you it was coming. Great look for Gervonta Davis and Showtime Shawn Porter to be working together. I really like that. Shawn Porter, he's not the tallest welterweight, but he's a rugged style. Tank Davis is originally, he was scheduled to fight against Rolando Rolly Romero, and that fight fell apart for obvious reasons. If you need more details on that, check some of my other videos. This is why you guys got to follow the channel for the latest and greatest, because I went over that. So the Rolly fight got canned. He was forced to withdraw, and enter Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And he's a rugged, they even call him the Mexican Mike Tyson because of his style. You could tell he's inspired by the great Mike Tyson. Hey, it's me, Mike Tyson. I'm so flabbergasted. There's so many fighters that want to be like me. I've traveled all over the world, and I've seen so many people, and I've touched millions, right? A lot of people try to emulate the Mike Tyson style. Isaac Cruz is one of them. So to have Tank sparring with a bigger guy and a welterweight, and an experienced welterweight at that, who's very relentless and rugged, I think that's awesome work preparing for Isaac Cruz, because Isaac Cruz, he has one loss, and he's brought in, and he has this hellified opportunity to try to do something big and throw Tank off of his game and dethrone Tank, you know? So you got, like Eminem said, you better lose yourself in the moment you own it. You have one shot or one opportunity to capture everything. Would you capture it or let it slip? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already, mom's spaghetti. Isaac got one chance to really make a huge statement and, you know, have his name immortalized by beating Gervonta Tank Davis, who is extremely lit right now and is on pay-per-view. So you can expect he's gonna do what he can to try to come out victorious. Now, as for Showtime Shawn Porter is getting ready in a week, I believe. You know what? I will say this. I'm really looking forward to the Crawford Porter fight, but I don't think it's been really promoted too greatly. You know what I mean? Comparatively speaking to another big fight, Canelo versus Plant, it's been very quiet. I know ESPN released like a Blood, Sweat, and Tears or something, but in my personal opinion, I just feel like the promotion has been rather quiet. Needless to say, I think it will be an excellent fight. It is on ESPN pay-per-view, so you do have to order the fight. And Shawn Porter he's a relentless, durable, experienced veteran at this point. And him fighting Bud Crawford, I look for both fighters to push each other. So to have Shawn Porter in there with somebody who's younger than him, who clearly has power, and don't get it twisted, I've talked to many a fighter and trainer who have witnessed Tank Davis, and they said he hits above his weight class. So what I mean is he's fighting at 130, 135, 140 even, but he's hitting outside of his weight class. Some people say he hits like a middleweight, light heavyweight, whatever they want to compare. I believe Ellie got an interview with Luis Cuba Arias, who just beat Swift Jared Hurd on the Mayweather-Logan Paul undercard. And he specifically said he sparred with Gervonta Davis, and anybody that gets in there, they're going to feel his power. They're going to tell he got some thump, And that's loosely what he said. I'm just paraphrasing. And that's a guy who's fighting at middleweight or 160, 154-ish and just beat Hurd, right? Who was signed to Mayweather Promotion. So for Shawn Porter, that should be great work because Terence Crawford got snapped. Another thing that I really like about this is why you guys got to subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. I'm the best doing it. There's no one like me. Often imitated, never duplicated. He's a southpaw. Tank Davis is a southpaw. And what does Terence Crawford do very well? Switch hit. He's ambidextrous. Terence Crawford fights better and more effectively and gets more stoppages out of the southpaw stance. So this is phenomenal for both Showtime Shawn Porter and Gervonta to be working together in this capacity because I really like the connection. Shawn Porter is rugged, relentless. Pitbull Cruz has showed to be rugged and relentless, right? Terence Crawford's a switch hitter, arguably better as a southpaw, more aggressive as a southpaw. Tank is an aggressive southpaw that can box with skills too, So this is just a winning combination as far as I'm concerned. I really look forward to the outcome of the fight. Now, listen, sparring. I don't know how many rounds. My source didn't give me all the deets. So I don't know how many rounds they sparred. I don't know if it's a once and done kind of thing or if they're doing several rounds, but they're doing shakeouts together and it looks like doing some workouts together. Tank is utilizing his trainers, Calvin Ford. I believe they have Barry Hunter in camp, Coach K. Shawn Porter has his dad. So all in all, this is elite boxing. This is elite boxing at its finest. I will say this. I'm very happy with Gervonta Davis's progress as an elite level superstar because there was a moment where some people were worried about Gervonta Davis. I try not to sweat some of the things that casuals sweat. Like he did miss weight. I get it. That's shame on you. You're not supposed to miss weight. It's not professional, things like that. But people got to understand he's attached to Mayweather. So the way his glow up is going to be different than other fighters just because you have a lot of pressure because you have Mayweather Promotions, Mayweather backing you, Floyd Mayweather saying abso-effing-lutely Tank is the future and things like that. So with that being concerned, everything he did was under a microscope. And people were like worried if he would get in trouble. I've seen a lot of people saying he's going to be the next Adrian Broner and squander his talents and all this stuff like that. And to be honest, it looks like he's been dialed in recently. From the Leo Santa Cruz on, I don't know what clicked, maybe maturity, age, having kids. I don't know. You got to ask Gervonta himself. But something in his brain clicked. Maybe seeing the paychecks, it could be like, man, the type of money I made on pay-per-view with Leo Santa Cruz and the type of reaction I got from that crazy knockout or selling out Atlanta and having all these rappers and celebrities and Shaq and Lil Baby and all these people come out to see me and the city of Baltimore relying on me. Now I feel like Tank is really starting to hone in and mature and get it to the point where he's connecting all the dots. There's a lot of people who are counting on Tank to be the best version of himself. Listen, in boxing, if you lose, you lose. It is what it is. But if you lose because of you, that's the worst disgrace you can do as a fighter or as a person. F boxing just as a person. Listen, if somebody is better than me at whatever, they gonna just have to be better. But I'm not gonna beat myself. So you just better than me. You just nicer than me. You can rap better than me. You're a better video editor than me. You're better at YouTube. But I'm not going to cheat myself and I'm not going to beat myself. I promise you I'm an animal. And I think Tank is getting in that zone where he's realizing and then the pressure and the responsibility is translating into the professionalism and the discipline. You notice Tank Davis, he used to be on social media probably a whole lot more, but when he's in camp, you haven't really seen him too much on social media. He'll pop in and maybe say a couple slide things to talk about an outcome of a fight like Josue Vargas or maybe Teofimo, if, you know, depending on how Teofimo looks versus George Kambosos. But he been low key. Tank's been very low key, so I'm proud of him. And it's a pleasure to watch the maturity of Tank. So Shawn Porter, he's in a tough fight. You know, my thoughts are Shawn Porter will be the best fighter that Terence Crawford has fought possibly ever in terms of experience and where he's at that given moment of his career. But definitely, at the very least, this is Shawn Porter's most difficult fight on paper in the welterweight class. Jose Benavidez is fighting tonight on the same card as David Benavidez on Showtime. Make sure you guys check that out. Cop Showtime, turn on Showtime, Showtime anytime, etc. But Jose Benavidez recently did interviews for this fight week, and he said he was injured and pretty much one-legged and still pushed Terence Crawford to the 12th round. So, you know, Jeff Horn, I thought he had already lost to Pacquiao, so I didn't really look at him as a true champion, even though I went to that fight and I was rooting for Terence Crawford. So Shawn Porter is a very sturdy test. I like this work. This is amazing work. Hopefully you like the work I'm putting out on the channel. We're going to close the year strong. Subscribe to the channel for the latest and the greatest. I'm the best in the business, baby. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.